Uh, the other morning, I woke up um, from a dream. I've been trying to make videos of this. Um, the dream that I woke up from, it triggered a very serious real life memory of how I was extremely close to being the main star in a child snuff film. So before I go into that, I want to talk about these two very interesting dreams uh, before the other dream that I woke up from. It's like, and then after all of this, I wake up from another dream, and I just, for some reason, and even though this had nothing to do with that either, it's like I remembered a very, very old memory of a person who I hung out with when I was very little, and that's what most of the past hour or two, three, so I've been trying to remember that conversation we had. So before I go into that, so the really fucked up dream that I had a few days prior to all of everything else, I was in a concrete bunker. Okay, and this actually might actually lead into what else. Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out, because this is all within the past few days, and I had already made a video, and there was things that I was saying that I was like, I don't know, I don't remember too much more from there, and then, a few things are a little bit. So this is more. There's this one dream that I keep having, where I am. It's not keep having. I've had it over the course of let's say I don't even know, 20 years, 23 years. Maybe had the dream like 3 times. I'm in this concrete bunker with this girl who now I could say kind of resembles Ari, but doesn't. It's not. It's see. I don't want to go into it, because now that's. See, I'm just saying that honestly, it just resembles Ari, because I already know that they're like, I'm not trying to get any other, because then I remembered the girl that I think didn't we? Yeah, I think, I don't know. Look, either way, it's like very interesting nipples. Okay, so which was the first girl I was with. I think, yeah, kind of. I mean, what? I don't know. Listen, going back, I'm not trying to freaking. I'm saying I have no idea who the fuck this girl is. in this dream, is what I'm saying. We're in a concrete bunker, somewhat like igloo shaped on when you come out, because as we're in the bunker, everything is like fine, kind of, and then we go out through what seems like the front door of the bunker, and there's a freaking blender to the left of the door, and the girl is like, oh yeah, blah 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 blah, and I'm just like, oh man, and I'm saying, well, okay, yeah, sure, right, okay, what, yeah, yep, yo, yeah, and there's the blender, and there's like what seems like a freaking, like I don't even know, like a human fucking piece of an arm in the blender, and the blender gets turned on, and just as that happens, this girl, she turns over the top of my shoulder, and she's like, you see, he is fucked up, you see, it's him, and I was like, what the fuck? You know, it's like, it's interesting because there's another dream that's very, very similar to that, in the fact of the personality, seemingly the personality. It's like, and that girl in that dream seems a lot like Ari in the face, and the real Ari, the little one. And I'm not talking about the other little one or the other little one. I'm talking about the real little one. In this other dream, it's like I'm laying in bed, somewhat of a plain room. It's white. There's white sheets. I'm laying down in bed, and like, we just got finished hanging out, and all of a sudden the girl, she gets up and she goes out, and she pulls in these people who I know are witches, and she does the same fucking thing, and it's the weirdest thing. She's like, you see, it's him doing it, and I'm like, what the fuck, yo, man. So from basically, and that dream I haven't had in the longest time, but the dream with the bunker, I have no idea who that girl is. I have no idea, and I want to say this, or I want to say that, and I'm just like, I can't zone into this fucking. It's like in the face, it seems like it blurred a few times. So then, about 2 days later, I have another dream. And in the dream, I'm with Lindsay, and we're driving in these two Ford Mustangs, these really nice Ford Mustangs, and this is a normal, this was like a normal happy-ish dream, like, yo. But I have had this dream before. I just didn't know. Now here's the interesting part, right? So, as we're driving in the Mustangs, we're at the light, first, and you know what seems like Lindsay is saying, "Don't step on the gas," and I was like, yeah, okay, sure, being a little bit like sarcastic and you know, Anthony Charming, I guess, and it's like, yeah, sure, and I'm making funny faces and this that. The point being is that so then we pull off from the light. She pulls out this way, I pull out behind her, and as we're going up the road, we're just driving, it's like, and I start to slack back. And just as I start to slack back, there's a car coming, there's a turn coming up, and there's a car parked a little bit out further than the side of the road. So it's kind of making it a little bit difficult to make the turn. And she goes and she makes the turn. She goes up and around to make the turn. Now, just as before she does that, a car, because I'm slacking back, comes up and gets in between my car and her car, and then freaking follows what seemingly follows her around the car. As she goes to make the turn, that car stops, right? So now there's the one car, and now there's the second car, and now I'm in the far, far lane to go around the two cars that are now parked side by side right next to the turn. One car being a little bit outside of the shoulder, or so the point being is that as I go around the car, and just as I'm just about to make like a lazy turn up the road, the car that was parked, it now is making a turn. So if I would have made the turn at that point, I would hit the car. So I just went a little bit further, and then I'm like, because I'm getting ready to step on the gas, right? And find out what the fuck's really going on, okay? And now, that's where I wake up from that dream. And, it's like that dream was so normal, ish. And I know that I've had the dream before, and I know when I had the dream. Actually, it was probably around about the time before my dog passed away. My literal dog passed away. Because I remember my friend Amanda having that same dream, and I was telling her about the dream because this was like 3-4 times in a row I was having this dream. And she kept saying, Amanda kept saying, she's like, I'm having the same dream, blah, blah, blah. Anthony, that's you? She's like, we're in the other car. We're in the other car. And I'm like, no, that can't be you in the other car because I'm seeing this person in that car. I don't know who this person is, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, she was off on some of the things because she couldn't zone into what she was seeing in her dream. But she definitely was having the same dream as I was. And her brother, who's passed away. What's fucked up is that, with all that said, I woke up from that dream, and the first thought in my head the very first thought in my head was how I was almost apart when I was little. I was almost a part. The I was almost the star in a child snuff film. And I started remembering a few of the details, and I made a video really quick, and I'm like, oh, I remember this being, there was so many things that were discussed, and it wasn't because I was just spitting it out at 8 o'clock in the morning, and I was like, you got to be kidding me. I'm like, how did I forget this too? Wow, man. The one thing that I forgot in the other video was that the stuff that was being said to me before that took place, they put a wire on me. They put the wire. Where the hell did they put the wire that time? Because they figured that if they did check for the wire wasn't normally like where the wire wasn't exactly where it was supposed to be. It was someplace else. I don't know if it was on like the wire wasn't on my chest. That's all I remember. Or it was taped a different way on my chest. And the one thing I remember very clearly was, Anthony, this is going to happen. But if you hear the word snuff, that means they're going to kill you. Do not panic. Flip out. Sure as hell, right? Now, this whole situation that I see from a distance now was them, the people who were about to make the film, convincing the other people that they had the cops, that they had good intentions. Now this goes back to like 86? 87, 88. It was after me being molested by the freaking principal inside elementary school. Because guess who was there? Wow. So they hooked the wire up a right different way than just centered of my chest. They definitely checked for the wire. And I get set down on a couch next to a pretty girl, dressed up, and the guy starts to talk to me about sex. And he starts to set up a camera. Now, the part of this where it gets fucked up is as they're about doing this, right? As he's talking to me, and the girl is talking, we're all talking, and he's setting up the camera, and he's like, well, we're gonna teach you about sex and blah blah blah, and something something, and the next thing you know, because it wasn't just me that heard it, the girl heard it too, but I'll get to that part. I start hearing, yeah, because then after that, we're gonna snuff you, we're gonna make a snuff film, blah blah. No shit. No fucking shit. I freak out. Like I was told to do. I freak the fuck out. Just as I freak out, people come bum rushing the house. And then 5 people or so come out of a back room. One of them being the principal who already had molested me. A conversation or argument starts. Blah, 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 blah. You were going to kill him. You were going to kill him. And then, no, well, I wasn't going to kill him. What are you talking about? And then it was like, bullshit. We all heard it. We all heard the fucking words. And the girl, even the little girl, at that point, she goes, you were going to kill him? And she starts flipping out on all the people that are there. Like, I mean, like, adult flipping out. Like, not like kid flipping out. Like, I mean, like, calling shots type of fucking flipping out. Like, she's the same age as me, and she's literally like, she's like, oh, hell no. She's like, what the fuck do you got me, what the fuck do you got me a part of? Wow, man. She just started flipping. I was like, is this a little girl at this point? Because she is completely telling everybody to go fuck themselves. And, she's like, I'm sorry, Anthony. She's like, they said that they were going to teach you a lesson and not kill you. You were going to kill him and then all this other crazy shit. And then it was like, well, we were just going to have you suck his dick. And she's like flipping out with all this going on. And then it's like, she tried to like, once she realized how much trouble she was just about to be in, she starts to fucking flip it out on me, and she starts to try to, she's like, well, do you want to have sex? Dude, it was so fucked up. It was so fucked up. She's like, well, do you want to have sex with me? And I was like, yeah, sure, I guess. I don't know what the fuck, because I didn't even know what the fuck sex was. Didn't even know what the fuck sex was, man. And not to, and the only thing I know is that supposedly the camera guy was flipping out too, because he was like, you were gonna kill the kid, blah blah blah. He's like, that's fucking, and the other fucking, and 1 or 2 of the other fucking people. There was about 2 or 3 people there that were planning to fucking kill me. That's all I know. And all this shit goes down, and it's like, Anthony, it's like these people are demons. And I was like, well, what the fuck, and it was like, we're talking, and it's like, because I'm safe now. I'm safe at that point. But it's like, and would you even forgive them for what they were about to do? And I'm like, yeah, and I just didn't exactly. It's like I forgive them. I don't want them to be in trouble, but I didn't understand what any of this shit was. And I'm saying to myself, it's like they start to talk to me, and I'm like, well, why would you have done that? And they said that they didn't fully know. They said they don't know. Like with a straight, when I say straight face, I mean like with the right face. They were like, we don't know. And I was like, well, that's, is there any way that you could get, work on that or get help for that? Or, so I just remember them trying to like understand that I was trying to forgive them for them about to kill me. This world is so fucked up. You know, this is before a lot of people started to even in a lot of people didn't understand, I think, exactly what really went down in this place, meaning Earth. That this is a lot of stuff that led to a lot of highly classified shit, man. People starting to wake up and realize like more and more like there was people who knew, but those there was things that they didn't even understand about the spiritual world and like how a lot of things worked and heaven and hell and all of it. Like there was still questions even inside of some of these supposed demons' minds. Yeah. The child the child snuff film of Jesus Christ. 35 years continued. Wow, man. They were saying that they couldn't help themselves, but they would, it's like, well, why don't you try? And I mean, I was talking to them just as calm as I'm talking right now. I just remember their faces like when I asked the question, well, why? And why would you hurt me? And for no reason? And what did I do to you? And they were just like, ooh, we don't know. We don't know. The little girl was funny though, man. She was like, she really fucking flipped out. She was like, wait, what? You were gonna kill him? And then she turns to me and she's like, hey, Anthony, I'm sorry. She's like, do you want to have sex with me? I was like, yeah, sure. It's like, yeah, man. Oh, we were just gonna have you suck his dick. It's like, what the fuck? Holy shit! Holy sh! Holy shit! Hi, fucking a man. Wow. Wow. She's like, what the fuck did? She's like, what the fuck did you get me into? Oh man, she went from like little kid to adult in like, or at least somewhat adult. Like that's what I'm saying. Like I don't think there was a fucking. That's what I'm saying. That whole fucking situation was completely fucking messed up. And then it was like, oh well, we got wire, we got microphones, and it's like, yeah, we got microphones too. And then they lifted up my fucking shirt. They're like, fucking, what's up? Because they were trying to set up the cops. Wow, man. Wow, man. Life is really fucked up, man. So the point being is that in the end, um, not only do I pretty much remember the location of where that like I maybe I can't pinpoint the fucking house. Maybe I can. Maybe the house is not there no more. But I know the location of where that took place and roundabout, which therefore it's interesting that the second Camaro I bought was from that same neighborhood. And I also know that freaking, like, there is just some real interesting shit that's just like, now I'm just like, what the fuck, man? What the fuck, man? And that's on top of fucking the whole, like, being kidnapped when I was 3, 4, and my cousin was 3, and like coming to like the understanding of what happened there, because there was more about that I didn't speak in the other videos, which was like, I remember the car pulling into this driveway, and then they went and got a car from over there, brought it here, waited till it got a little bit dark, and then put me in the car with that dude. We were gone all fucking. Wow, man. How the fuck if we. Dude, that's crazy. So we were gone all night, not all day. We were gone during the day too, but we were gone all that night. Because it was the next morning when we were dropped back off. There are things that people do not understand about the supposed Dark Lord. There are things that people do not understand about dark magic, and I've spoken to some of the highest people. Maybe now they understand. And whether they have led themselves away from certain aspects or not. So, yeah. So my month has been kind of like month and a half or so, 2 months. My past 2 months have been kind of rough. My past 3 months have been even rougher. My past 4 months, forget about it. And I don't even want to go back to when my mom passed away. And I don't want to go back to thinking like, wow, that's so interesting that literally like 2 weeks prior,